Hi, everybody. Hi. This is John Sibert. I'm Laura Rosenthal. We're two city council members. I think we know most of the people here. I think most of you know us. We wanted to do this today, to have a little like town hall meeting here, to be able to get information, give information, whatever it is about this potential swap. And then we're going to go do a tour for those of you that are interested to actually go look at some of the land that's involved. And then in 2 weeks, on March 9th, we're going to be meeting at 10 o'clock at Charmley to do the same thing. So we have Jim Thorsen here, our city manager also, and so he'll be helping us with information too. This is really a time that we can learn from you, and if there's anything you want to learn from us and Jim, we're here for that too. As many of you know, we have something called the Brown Act, so there can't be more than two of us here at the same time doing this. And so John and I have talked about this particular item together, so that's why we decided to do this. There will be more city council meetings and more things at City Hall for people, for the whole city council to discuss, and for additional times for people that couldn't be here today or can't come in 2 weeks to be able to give their input. A lot of people have already called us, emailed us. We've gotten a lot of feedback already. But it's really nice to see so many people here today also.
Just a couple of important points. I certainly haven't made a decision about this yet. I'm pretty sure Laura hasn't either.
Right.
We are here to gather information about what might or might not be doable. This is only one step in a process. Whether or not this is ever going to happen, I have no idea at this point. So no decision has been made, no matter what you might have read in various places. No decision has been made by the council, and nothing can happen until that happens. And it's there will be more opportunities to speak about this and more opportunities to interact about it. I get phone calls, I get a lot of emails. A lot of them have started with the premise that you shouldn't even be able to think about this. I'm sorry, I can't function that way by starting out saying you aren't allowed to think about this. So let's think about it. Let's try and make a rational decision with a lot of community input, and maybe what we end up doing, I don't know. Maybe there is a referendum, maybe there's some other way we should do this, but it should be the whole community that participates. So I'm here to learn.
Hope you are too.
Yeah, and let's see what's actually here. As you may know, if you've seen the city council meeting, one of my jobs is to go talk to coastal commissioners to get their input on this. I've already met with one. I've got a couple more coming up, just to, and not from the standpoint of saying, would you support this, but from the standpoint of saying, these are the things we're considering, just informational. So that's where I'm coming from, and then I'll turn it over to Jim.
Well, let me jump in here. Everybody, hopefully you got one of these. If you haven't, we have more up here. But I just wanted to quickly go through the pages so that everybody understands what the pages are. The first page is a map that was produced by Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy. It's a map that shows not only their proposed camping, which you'll see in red, all the trails. It has about 40 campsites on here. And these are all in Bluffs Park. And this is their proposal to develop this site because they own it. Now, camping is an allowed use at that site. It's open space. They do have camping allowed. What you also see, this is actually a biological assessment map. And as part of the assessment, you'll see different colors. The light green, they've gone through and said these are areas that are not considered ESHA. The darker colors are what they've gone through with their biologist and identified as ESHA areas. ESHA is environmentally sensitive habitat area. And what that means is part of our coastal plan is that you have very, very restricted development allowances within that ESHA. Generally, you can't build within the ESHA. And so you, as homeowners, if you're developing a property, you try to find an area on your property that's not considered ESHA. In this case, this map shows us the light green is the non-ESHA areas, and the other colors are different biological assessments. The second map is kind of a replication of the first map. It shows in dark brown or orange or whatever color that is. That's the ESHA replicated from the first map. And then it shows potential uses, and we put these on here not as any type of a final design, but to give everybody a perspective of the size of a baseball field, the size of a soccer field, what would be required for a skate park or a tennis court or something of that nature, if in fact this swap went through. So this is kind of a sizing and diagram of what could happen within the non-ESHA areas, and to give everybody just a general sight of how much that land would take to develop anything on there. The last page is the Charmley site, and it shows where Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy has potentially proposed camping up there. If any of you, and I know many of you have been up there, and many of you have been up there many times, the access road coming into the park is coming off of here. There's a caretaker trailer and right over here, and some parking within that. What you see here in orange are the campsites. There's 7 of them with a handicap camping down on this corner and some additional parking over in here. So overall, he's got proposed 7 campsites. They're all within about 600 feet of the caretaker. I'm not sure if he'd put a park ranger in there or what he would do, but they're all within about 600 feet or less. These are the furthest ones out that are 600. These other ones are about 100 feet, maybe 200 feet away from the ranger station. We do have a contour map as we walk around. It shows what the contours are, and then it shows roughly the same type of layout if any of these things are proposed, where they would fit within the ESHA and the grading. So we'll have that as we do the walk around. We're researching and looking into all the geology within the area. We've had the city's geologists do a preliminary review of the geology. We do know, based on all the maps and all the information that's been put forward so far, that there's within Marie Canyon, there's definitely small to moderately large landslides. At the face of the bluff down by Malibu Road, there's other landslides, and certainly you've got to be aware of those. Currently, there's also 4 monitoring wells within the area. Actually, it's within a lot of the areas shown that's flat that would have potentially in the middle of this where the major campsites are on the first page. There's 4 monitoring wells that Pepperdine has had out there for probably about 15, 20 years. I'm not sure exactly how long. And the issue was at that time when they put the monitoring wells was there was some landslide activity going on, and they wanted to make sure that the irrigation that they're doing up on their property was not impacting the landslides. And so for 20 years they've been monitoring that site. When they water the most is when the groundwater actually is the lowest. During the summer months, the groundwater recedes. When they water the least, the water levels are coming up because of the winter. So if there is any development on the site, in order to make sure that you don't have any impacts to those slides, you would want to do additional monitoring so that you didn't impact the groundwater levels and have any adverse impacts to those slides. We're trying to find out all the facts. Council has asked us to go out, try to find out what's going on, try to find out what the geology is, what the opportunities and uses might be, and so that's what we're trying to do.
The process that we're going through is last week there was a walkthrough with 2 other council members, and I know a number of people, did that, spoke with them, and then I know some Little League people and some other people here. John, you were there last week. I know personally that John and I have met, not together, but met with a number of different people. I've met with Little League people. I've met with people, from all over Malibu, talking about this. So we're going to be doing this today. I can't speak for what the other council members are doing. Again, I know that Joanne and Lou did a thing, a talk and walk last week. And then we will be bringing it back to council. We'll have more discussions there. I'm not sure if we're going to be having another town hall meeting at City Hall or not, but this is just one piece in the process. Nothing's been discussed. As Jim said, it's very clear to me, we're still gathering a lot of information, geology information from the Coastal Commission, information from different groups. I've been trying to get out at least the information, the facts that I know so far, and listening. And I would say every couple of days I talk to Jim and say, okay, I heard this, can you find out this information? And I know a lot of people have been calling him too. So there will be at least 2 more city council meetings about this where people can come and talk. I mean, I don't know if there'll be 2, 3, 4, 5 yet, because we're just at this place in the process, so it's difficult to know. And then I think that
So there will be more city council meetings before the final.
absolutely,
Oh, yeah.
there'll be more city I'm just trying to
Better be.
repeat what people are saying. Yes, there will be more city council meetings, absolutely. I personally need them to hear from more people and to gather more information.
We're going to, as we move forward with all of this, learn more. And as we learn more, it's going to raise more questions at the same time as it answers some. So what that length of time is, I don't know. But I'm not in the it's not my job to rush this through if it doesn't make sense.
We're going to do our due diligence, and we're going to do whatever it is that we need to do to find out if this is a good deal for the city. And that's whether it takes this or that or whatever, that's what we're going to be doing. We really encourage everybody and ask you, send us emails, give us a call, tell your friends, ask them to come walk here. Anything, we really want to hear from as many people as possible. We want to learn. We want everybody else to learn. I hope that you heard what John was saying earlier, that, and again, I can only speak for me, and because I heard him say it, I'll say for him. We haven't made up our mind. We're still learning. We don't have all the answers to the questions we've already asked, and then we've heard some more questions today. So it's important that, again, we keep an open mind and we learn, and then only make a decision once we have as much information as possible.